Welcome along once again to the Star Sports video blog. I'm joined here today by Lofty, who's the senior trader in the office today. It's the end of day 2 at Aintree, very much 2-0 to the punters. We're going to have a quick spin through the horses that we've laid and the money that we've lost, and then have a quick look at the National tomorrow. But if we go back 48 hours and we go back to the first Aintree where Big Bucks broke his world record. If we start there, Lofty, obviously quiet event, I would imagine.
Yeah, we saw a 20 grand bet for Big Bucks at 2 to 9, but I mean, other than that, obviously people just watching the race really. Little bit of pieces. Well, that was a very bad each way race, trying to deflect all the bad each way for Smad Place. Of course, that was on the floor. Everything else in the race was, much to our cost. I'm sure we all bet Smad Place ourselves each way privately. And yeah, but it was good to see Big Bucks win. Don't think he beat a lot, but as you say, 17 wins in a row for him now, and breaking the record.
Yeah, with inevitability copped, and I mean, I think it was, we were all waiting for the second race rather than the first, weren't we, for the action to get going, and the action very much did get going. Grumetti managed to reverse the form of Countrywide Flame, and not a good race for the bookies, another favourite.
Another favourite winner indeed, yeah. Not the busiest of betting eats for us, but again we saw good money for Grumetti, money also for Sadler's Risk, who I didn't really fancy in the way it ran at Cheltenham. I thought it was definitely going backwards.
Interesting how he held that up this time.
Yeah, as you say, obviously it was an out-and-out stay on the flat. You'd have thought Aintree really wouldn't play them at strengths like Cheltenham would, but yeah, interesting ride from Richard Johnson. But as you say, Grumetti, another favourite winning, beating Countrywide Flame, 2-0 to their punters.
And now you're going to tell me you got one back in the next one. Follow the plan, scooted up at 50 to 1.
We'd love to, but unfortunately we laid 2 grand each way at 40s. Great betting, we took 7 grand bet on What a Friend, plenty of money for Riverside there, 2 grand disappointingly. Good old hump ball for the fairy tale for Anthony Knott. Unfortunately it couldn't come off, but he was very popular.
Did you take much out of that hump ball?
We took a few quid out of it, yeah, plenty of money at sort of 11 to 2, 6s and 7s, seemed very popular. No real large bets, but a few lots of £500 and £1,000 bets flying about for it.
Still got a price for it for the Grand National next year?
I'm not sure. I think they fancy it for the Gold Cup next year, don't they? The owner thinks it's still the greatest thing since sliced bread. I mean, it's only a 7-year-old, it can certainly improve I think next season. But yeah, follow the plan. We thought, what's this sneaking into the race quietly? Oh, let's follow the plan. He's always going to win, and as you say, a 40 to 1 winner, 50 to 1 winner. We've landed at 40, so you think, oh, what a result for the bookie chappies. Not in the office, long faces it was here, I'm afraid.
And then it was no new record, the same record. Race 4 favourites, 7 to 1, sorry, into 4 to 1. Cloudy Lane punted off the boards at Cheltenham. The McCain team couldn't have that beat. They couldn't have it beat again, and it did the business this time. Yeah,
luckily that was a very, very quiet betting race for us, the Fox Hunters. The people don't really want to get involved with the amateurs, although certainly different styles of riding there. Mr Hardinger had the winner, wouldn't look out of place with a professional licence. Couldn't say about Mr R Hodges, who rode the 4th there, Keenan's Future, who brought back memories of John Thorne and Spartan Missile for those long enough. You won't remember that, Luke, we're too young. So.
No, his mum loves him too. Okay,
I'm sure he's a lovely fella, but you know, I think other jobs can be taken part from Mr Hodges. But luckily, a quiet betting, even had a favourite one, yeah.
So at 3:40 in the afternoon, you've had favourite, 50 to 1 shot that you managed to lay, folled by favourite. So going swimmingly then.
Really well, yeah.
So what do you want in the next race?
Want to go home really? What do we see? Favourite wins. Oh, well, there we go.
Eduardo Sol. Now for me, this was the most impressive performance of the day. I couldn't believe how well this ran, how well it jumped. For me, everything seems to win 15 lengths at Aintree. Strung out like the washing in this race, but wow, was this impressive.
Exactly what you're saying, yeah. Ran in the county hurdle last time, back over fences and absolutely bolted up. The handicap good thing, as they say. They're meant to win like that sometimes, aren't they, when they're favours and handicaps.
5-year-old, progressive.
Again, yeah, youngster. This one was okay for us, ran really well. Was a loser in the book. Also, we saw good each way money for Astra Caddy, who finished second there. We saw money for Takarok, who managed to get out the frame. Bits and bobs for Kid Cassidy, who, if he ever learns to jump one day, will be half decent, but he finished 5th under AP McCoy. But again, another losing result for us.
So if we're going to not have a favourite win, what are we going to have win the next?
We had a second favourite, but that actually wasn't a bad result for us, Manor.
Oh, really?
No, we saw money for Crystal Bonus there. We laid a 7 grand bet in the morning at 7 to 1. Plenty of money for Alpha Off, who I know is a big favourite of yours, but it's been disappointing this year.
I mean, I was delighted for the Hobbs team. I mean, Manora is one at Cheltenham Festival. It's a quality horse. It got slated all season. Dickie Johnson said if it can just jump, it hits one every race. It hit one again yesterday, but he managed to paddle through it, pulling double 2 out, and he went away and won it. And sometimes it's a long old season. It's nice to see yards get the results they deserve.
Definitely, yeah. It's kept it small fields all year, so everyone's been cribbing its jumping, but it's certainly everything going together on the day and looked a decent racehorse yesterday. So hopefully it won't make into a. Don't think it can quite make into a sort of champion chaser or Ryanair horse for next season, but I'm sure if they can sort of jumping out, it's got the ability there. It's certainly got an engine.
And then moving on, the lucky last, they don't win the handicaps at Cheltenham and then go and win them at Aintree, do they, Lofty?
Amazing, and then Malcolm Jefferson pops up with Cape Tribulation.
14 to 1 that returned. How was that for you in the office?
It wasn't too bad for us this time. It was a loser for us at the festival, I seem to recall, in the office, even though I was on the track. We saw money here for Who Blonde Oboe was well backed at 14s in the morning, admittedly with a Rule 4, but still beat the book going off at 9 to 1. And we also saw good money each way for Star of Angels, who was well beaten there. Wasn't the worst result in the race, to be honest, for Cape Tribulation, but as usual with these big field handicap hurdles, you just got to sit there and try and avoid the winner.
So end of day one, you've laid plenty of favourites. You've laid a 50 to 1 shot. Am I right in saying it was 1-0 to the punters?
It was 1-0 to the punters, definitely, yeah.
Right, ding ding ding. Round 2, moving on to this Friday, kicking off with the first race. Favourite.
First race, surprise, surprise.
Starland, solidly backed. I believe some firms were 2 to 1 in the morning. We were firmly 7 to 4. We laid that. We laid the 13 to 8. Lay anything else in the race?
We had a bit of Agent Archie each way. That's all. We somehow managed to get out the frame, but as you say, one horse book here. AP McCoy, Nicky Henderson. I mean, unlucky to get beaten at Cheltenham, and then there he goes, comes and gets the revenge at Aintree, and yet, as you say, 1-0 to the Hunters.
So NJ Henderson 1-2, and suddenly the old trainer's title's looking alive again as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So back to the trainer's title, second race, favourite, Nichols, back at you Mr Henderson. Silviniaco Conti, another one was this impressive. 7 to 4 at return. I don't think we laid anything else in the race really other than this, did we?
We actually laid Solix, amazingly enough, yeah, which is from the Henderson camp. Obviously the people thought Henderson, could he go through the car there today with winners? But it's been disappointing when it's jumping. Solix tends to hit 1 or 2 on the way round, and took a lot of the Aintree Birch with it on the way round and was never competitive. But as you say again, another favourite winner, Silviniaco Conti, who again, like everything you see at Aintree, wins by a hell of a long way. I mean, it was drawn literally 20 lengths clear of Champion Court between the last two. And yeah, as you say, another favourite winning, so that's 2 out of 2. Bing bing, what can we have the next race?
Favourite, Henderson, back at you Mr Nichols, Finian's Rainbow. For all those who said, the last jump at Cheltenham came into things when it came together with sizing Europe, I mean, I think this shut them up, didn't it, really? This absolutely scooted in.
Definitely, and seeing its antics before the race, it took a rail down with it and we sort of tried to take everything, almost got impaled on a sort of part of an Aintree rail, and yeah, people thought, oh, what's happening here? Great for us, because we'd laid Pockland and for Paddy the Plasterer each way, looking quite light at a favourite, thought we might be cheering a favourite on for once, but we actually were, which was actually one of the bad result for us, to be fair, so quite happy to get this one beat.
And so your main loser in the race?
The main loser in the race would have been Pockland, also popular each way money for Paddy the Plasterer, dead 8 runners, you thought it's got to finish third, but thankfully Alberta's one stayed on past it and it managed to finish 4th, so.
Right then, so we're going to the 4th race. We've got a £1 million runner handicap in the Topham. What do you want? Something that's not really that well fancied. Bang. Always waning. On a hat-trick at Topham's, 11 to 1. Absolutely scooted in as well. Did you lay it?
We managed to lay it, of course, yeah. 11 to 1, 8 the field races, you're not going to miss one of those. Was popular actually on the anti-post market for this as well, so winning the race 3 years running, what a great feat.
What price did you lay at
We actually laid it at 12, so it wasn't too bad laying it at 12 to 1, bearing in mind it returned, I think, at 11, was it, the SP?
It was indeed. Price for it next year, a 4-timer?
Oh, don't know. We'd actually go for the Grand National one year, try and get a bit further. Obviously loves these fences and it would get a real fight and weight, I thought, in the Grand National, but what a great feat. It's definitely name a race after the Aintree, I think, now. No, certainly over the big fences.
If you're listening, Aintree, name a race. Always waning. 3-time winner of the Topham. That's not going to happen for a very long time again.
Interesting, the biggest bet we laid in the race was an each way bet on Amy Gale, 25 runner handicap. I haven't got to tell you where it finished.
Right, okay, moving on. Right, so we've got Fingal Bay, popular favourite. You don't want a second favourite as well. Lovekin.
Well,
Duel up the straight. That's what you want to turn on the TV and watch. One's going to win the other. Head bobber, head bobber, head bobber. Did you lay it?
We managed to lay Lovekin each way, yeah, unfortunately at 12 to 1. Did take a big chunk at a Fingal Bay though, luckily we had a 35k wager at 7 to 4 amongst others, so it wasn't too bad. Cotton Mill was quite light after its sort of rather head madness moment at Cheltenham. It decided to run out through the wing. No one knows what it had done that day. I don't think it would have beaten Simon Sick, to be honest, at Cheltenham, but as you say, that was the light one in the race really, so we had 2 bogies fighting out coming to last. It was a case of Can we do the win money with Fingal Bay? We get the place money with Lufkin. Lufkin beat Fingal Bay. Slightly better of the two, but not the greatest result really. We'd much rather have seen Cotton Mill win.
So better of two evils, really?
Yeah, lesser of two evils, yeah.
Right, okay, so like we touched on earlier, if you win a handicap at Cheltenham, you get hiked up the weights. You come to Aintree for a nice day out, but you don't win your handicap, do you, Loft?
No, but of course at a glance did.
There we go. I think Mr Malcolm Jefferson needs to give the rest of the training ranks a bit of a lesson this afternoon, because to achieve this feat is quite simply amazing. At a glance, 14 to 1 winner. Did you lay this?
We didn't actually. There was a right result here, luckily enough. Fairly light betting heat for us. Sort of a bit of money each way for Art Professor and money for Ski Sunday, who's a lot bigger price this morning.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's blind in one eye, if I'm correctly right. We've run another fences for the Tim Barnstable, but
careful with the puns off this. It's a slippery slope.
That was a bad Welsh accent. Okay, no, we're going downhill fast now. We've been doing this for far too long. That wasn't a bad result actually. From a personal point of view, I backed Sapphire River each way in the Coral Cup at Cheltenham. Of course, didn't back it each way today. Lo and behold, it finished third. So there we go at 33 to 1. Such is life. I bet Hazy Tom each way at 25 to 1, which finished 5th.
Right, okay.
Paying first for.
Well, if we're appearing like the two old women, right, that's because we are two old women, but we're nearly done. Let's get through this last race and we'll have a quick chat about the Grand National. Nice to see a female jockey having a winner. Rachel Green, 11.59. Anthony Honeyball had a cracking season. Good to see them win the bumper.
Yeah, very quiet betting. Literally no interest at all in this. I think people had packed up and gone home by now. Just a race to watch, as you say. Rachel Green is not the worst pilot in the world in them shaker bumpers. Yeah, getting the money home, winning a nice pot there for other half Anthony Honeyball, but very quiet betting for us in the office.
Right, so we've had 14 races. We've had 7 favourites, we've had 2 second favourites, and you've laid a 50 to 1 winner.
Yeah, we've done well, yeah.
So not going ideally,
Not the greatest, no.
Right, so, you know, Grand National tomorrow, biggest racing day of the year anywhere in the world. What have you laid? What do you fancy? What don't you think can win?
What have we laid? The main anti-post bet has been for Treacle. We laid a £3 grand bet at 33 to 1 quite a while ago. The day after it was put up by Price-Wise in the Racing Post, so
obviously
it went through the floor after that. Bits and Bob Seabass was quite popular today at 20 to 1. I don't think that will stay personally, although I'm sure it will get a decent ride from Katie Walsh. But personal point of view, I quite like Shakalaka Boom Boom. Not sure the ground's come for it.
I'd have to agree with you there. Incidentally, it's been a lot of money for this Shakalaka Boom Boom this morning. Nikki Henderson going well, 20 to 1 this morning. 16s now, wouldn't be surprised to go up that shorter. All I will say to you is if you fancy that, I'm on a streak here. If I don't back the winner of the National tomorrow, and I'm putting up Shakalaka Boom Boom, and I'm also putting up Killy Glen, I will have gone 20 years without backing the winner of the National. I'm 28, now that is some achievement. Lofty, what's it going to be? What's going to win the National?
Actually, believe it or not, I must be reading the same book as you, so I quite like the same 2 horses, Shakalaka Boom Boom and Killy Glen. Often tend to find horses that run well in National the year before and full. Little Polvier, going back a hell of a long way. He was going very well when he fell at, I think, about the 4th or 5th last the year before, then come and won the following year. Killy Glen was still going well and he was a massive price last year in full and at the 4th last. I think everything's gone his way. He's had a nice, quiet, typical Irish preparation, softly. Decent when it down well last time. I think he'll definitely go close for a not very fashionable trainer in Simon, Mr. Crawford, Stephen Crawford.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not going to be committed. I'll let you make the error, but
thanks a lot.
We'll leave it there. All I say is from the 2 old women here at Star Sports, yes, we're moaning, yes, we're 2-0 down. No, we're not going to back the winner of the National, but we've got 1 day left to get it all back, and if we can have a winning day tomorrow, we can back the winner of the Grand National. You'll be sure to hear it from us in the next couple of days. But with whatever you back, good luck. Come see us here at Star Sports, and we'll try to give you the best service we possibly can.